I'm really pleased to be here today because sustainability is what I've been doing for my whole career. Starting a long time ago at the first Earth Day and going till today, environment, sustainability, thinking about how we live on this planet and deal with the future has been an important part of what I've done. And it's taken me on a journey that's included working in the for President Clinton in the White House, to working at various universities, to working in the private sector, making investments in sustainable technologies, to working at a PR firm trying to understand how do we market the concept of sustainability to people and corporations. So it's something that means a lot to me, because if we think about how we live on this planet and how we interact with everybody, we need to figure out a way to leave opportunities for all of you and for your children to be able to succeed and thrive in the future as we move forward. When I was out there and thinking about things we did and how things were changing around me at the time, where I lived in the suburbs of New York City, but in those days there was still a farm half a mile away. And by the time I got to high school, the farm was gone. Right? It was taken over by subdivisions and houses. And so I was saying, well, now where am I going to get food? And so I was working on a project in high school about where food comes from and how do we think about it, and how do we deal with getting fresh food to everybody. And we've gotten better, but we still have a problem, that how we produce food isn't sustainable. But also, do you know where your food comes from? A lot of people think it comes from the grocery store. That's not where it comes from, right? And so there's still farms and there's still people growing food. And we need to understand where it's coming from and how to get ourselves back to understanding that as we move to the future. And there are lots of cool ideas and products and different ways to create opportunities. And it's technology that's going to change the future, and it's innovation and ideas. It's coming up with strange things, futuristic things that we can actually apply today. So there is a company I've been working with now for the past 4 years. So I'll give you a recent one first. And this company is going to produce the first electric airplanes. So we think about airplanes and they're big and heavy, and you may have seen electric cars going around and going, oh, electric cars are pretty cool, but how can you fly a plane on batteries? Right? It needs fuel, it needs something to push it along. And the technology has changed enough so fast that we can actually start moving people through the air on electricity. And it really changes the game. It has no pollution in the air, it's really quiet, and it's very efficient. And so, this company made up of young engineers. They started the company, they were 28 and 29 years old. They had been, one of the founders had been drawing airplanes since he was in elementary school. And he designed his first electric airplane when he was in middle school. And that basic design he did back then is now patented based on what he's working on today. And it's so cool to see somebody who's been thinking about this for a long time. He started researching, he went to school for engineering, he worked in the aircraft industry, and he said, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to build it myself. And that's a near-term sort of thing that's happening, and it just built out of this young man's passion for flight and for the environment at the same time.
Dr. Bernstein, what sort of advice would you have for young innovators who are seeking to develop and research sustainability solutions?
Well, for all the young innovators and entrepreneurs out there, I would say let your mind expand. Don't be stuck in a box of what you think is possible, you think may be possible, is to really use your imagination. The best ideas come from imagination. They come from thinking the problem, but also expanding your insights and also asking other people. Be part of a team, um, and ask people of all ages, and they don't even have to be involved in it at some level. People can give you great ideas and concepts, and that's understand what you're doing, but also be willing to um, basically jump off the high board in the pool and think about how you're going to land, but don't worry about it too much because there's water down the road.
I think that's great advice. Too often we put constraints on ourselves when we're researching, and we need to keep pushing through and continue to see that vision and creativity we initially had in mind. Dr. Bernstein, thank you so much for being with us today. And I encourage all of our viewers to log on to sustainabilitysolutions.asu.edu to find more about the great work that's happening at Arizona State University and to submit your project by August 18th for the Sustainability Solutions Science Fair.
And thank you, Kelly, for all the work you're doing to get all these innovators out there to really make change.